American mountain man Hugh Glass was mauled by a grizzly bear on August 25, 1823 AD, and lived to tell the tale. Little is known about Hugh Glass's younger years except that he was born in Pennsylvania and left home to seek his fortune in the West. He was captured by pirates led by French pirate Jean Lafitte in either 1860 or 1817. Glass spent a few years as a pirate before escaping. After leaving the pirate life near Galveston Bay, he wandered up north before being captured by the Wolf Pawnee tribe in the Kansas region. He was later adopted by the natives and learned how to survive in the Wild West. In 1822, after living with the Pawnee tribe for a couple of years, he heads to St. Louis, Missouri, and finds an ad about William Henry Ashley looking for recruits to join his fur trading venture, but Glass doesn't join the group until 1823. Hugh Glass decides to join General Ashley's fur expedition on June 1823, right in the beginning of the Arikara War. A conflict between the native tribe and the U.S. settlers ensued. The Arikara were angry with the settlers due to the incident 20 years earlier when their chief traveled to Washington, D.C. after meeting Lewis and Clark during their expedition and died while staying in the city. His tribe believed they were murdered, so they've been waiting to get their revenge. Ashley's expedition was full of fur trappers, explorers, and mountain who traveled up the Grand River looking for fur and charting the area while fighting off angry natives. On August 25, 1823, Hugh Glass and members of his group were looking for food and game when they disturbed a mother grizzly bear and her two cubs. The bear attacked Glass, picking him up, bit, clawed, and cut him up with her claws while pinning him to the ground. A fellow fur trapper, Hiram Allen, who was nearby, heard Glass's screams, said the monster had torn the flesh from the lower part of the body and from the lower limbs. He also had his neck shockingly torn, even to the degree that an aperture appeared to have been made into the windpipe and his breath to exude at the side of his neck. Blood flowed freely, but fortunately no bone was broken, and his hands and arms were not disabled. His companions were convinced that Glass would die from his injuries, but carried him on a hastily crafted litter for a couple of days, but having to drag him around slowed the group down. The co-leader of the group, Major Andrew Henry, suggested that they leave two men to keep Glass company until he died and bury him, but the two dudes ditched him and ran off. They later claimed that they were being attacked by the Arikara and had to leave Glass's corpse for their own safety. Glass was left alone with a broken leg, slashed ribs, and oozing wounds, planned a way to get back to the nearest U.S. settlement, Fort Kiowa, which was about 200 miles away. Glass had his own broken leg, wrapped himself in bearskin that his companions used as a funeral shroud, and crawled back to the fort. He let the maggots that had crawled into his festering wounds to remain so they could keep them from becoming gangrenous. He crawled on his belly south towards the Cheyenne River. From there, he made a makeshift raft and floated downstream to Fort Kiowa. The trip back took him over 6 weeks. Hugh Glass's mauling by a grizzly bear and his story of survival was made into an episode of the TV Western series Death Valley Days. His story also inspired the 1971 film Man in the Wilderness and the 1973 American film Apache Blood, and most recently the 2015 film The Revenant. Little is known about the life and times of Hugh Glass besides the famous bear attack, but check out the website hughglass.org to learn more about his interesting tale and what is or isn't true about his life.